All good? Are we live, or, yeah? Oh, geez. Here I am, just, noodling away, playing some songs. Hey, what should we play next? Yeah. On the way out, I was listening to Linda Ronstadt's Greatest Hits. That is one really worthwhile listen. She was just amazing. Anyways, I will not play from that album tonight, at least not for broadcast, because that'll probably get us in trouble. I don't think our J license, covers Linda Ronstadt songs. So, but who knows? She covered some of those songs, so it might not even be her songs. Anyways, let's start singing at the top of 129. Dodi li va'ani lo haroe bashoshani. Dodi li va'ani lo haroe bashoshani. Mi zot olam min hamidbar, min hamidbar. Mekuteret moru lemona, dodi li va'ani lo haroe bashoshani. Dodi li va'ani lo haroe bashoshani. Levavtini achoti kala, uhurit tzafon uvo iteman, dodi li va'ani lo haroe bashoshanim, dodi li va'ani lo haroe bashoshanim. When I hit the guitar is when you clap your hands. Dodi li va'ani lo haroe bashoshanim. Dodi li 1, 2 va'ani lo haroe bashoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haroe bashoshanim. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai. Let's sing another one to warm up. Over on 128, third one down, Yedid Nefesh. It's not an accident that I picked these two to sing all the time instead of the other 6 or so that are on these 2 pages. If you look at the top of our Siddur here on 128 and 29, the very, very top, do you see what it says as the sort of larger heading? It says Kabbalat Panim for Shabbat. Kabbalat Panim is the Hebrew expression for greetings or for reception, receiving people, like the gathering time. This is, before the wedding starts, there's the Kabbalat Panim, and the specific translation, Panim, if you know Yiddish a little bit, or Hebrew, apunim, right, is a face. And Kabbalah means to receive something. So it literally means to receive someone's face, meaning who they are, their genuine self. their aspect, their facet. And all of these songs are good. You know, we could sing Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad, and we could sing Ma yafa hayom Shabbat Shalom. Right? I know sort of most of these. Ki yeshmera Shabbat El yishmereni Ot hi leol me'ad beino veini Ot hi leol me'ad beino veini. There's a lot of great melodies to all of these, but I usually gravitate towards one of these two, Yedid Nefesh and Dodi Li, and it's not only because I know those melodies, but they're two of the receiving Shabbat and receiving and gathering together melodies that we sing, which are really about love, and it's a topic we don't talk about enough. To just have a loving life and to understand that we have a loving relationship with God and the universe around us and with each other, and to build and to grow a life of love. And I don't know, maybe it sounds corny, but there you go. Shabbat is a reminder of God's love for us, and hopefully of our love for one another. So let's sing this other one, Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman, Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman, Meshochav Decha El Retzonecha Ishtachavei La 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 El Muladarecha from the top. Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman, Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman, Meshochav Decha El Retzonecha Ishtachavei La 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 El Mul Hadarecha Oh Yarutz Avdecha Kemo Ayal Ishtachavei La la El Muladarecha La 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 I lie la lie 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 la lie la lie lie I la lie 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 la lie la lie I lie la lie 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 lie. Everybody sing. I lie la lie 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 I lie la lie 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 la lie la lie I lie lie I lie 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 I die 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 yai die 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 la 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 yai die 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 yai die 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 die. Wendy? You're up. I think we need new candles. I don't like to light candles that have already been lit, so we need new candles. Yeah. No, I don't like to light candles that have already been lit for Shabbos. Save them and use them for something else, but Shabbos requires new candles. Page 121 and 120. As she gets the candles ready, take a few breaths and allow yourself to, for lack of a better expression, get into it. Relax and allow yourself to really greet Shabbat and to greet the rest that comes.
All of them have been lit.
And to open yourself to a more meditative way of being and thinking, if not beyond the time we share together, at least for the time we're here together. Is this the exact time when there's not new candles and I chose to be pedantic about it?
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Come on. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Le'ad ligne, shel Shabbat. Thank you, Wendy. At the bottom of 132. Or zaru ala tzadik, ole yishrei lehev simcha. Or zaru ala tzadik, ole yishrei lehev simcha. Simchu, simchu tzadikim ba'Adonai, vehodu lezecher kodsho. Simchu tzadikim ba'Adonai, vehodu lezecher kodsho. Or zarua latzadik, uleishrei lehev simcha. Or zarua latzadik, uleishrei lehev simcha. Simchu tzadikim ba'Adonai, vehodu lezecher kodsho. Simchu tzadikim ba'Adonai, vehodu lezecher kodsho. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. 135, also at the bottom of the page. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. רוממו, nice and loud. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. רוממו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. רוממו. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי, we stand, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי בואי בשלום, עטרת עלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני ים סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. You can be seated. 141. About 6 lines up from the bottom. Mi kolod mayim rabim adirim, mishberei yam adir b'marom Adonai edotecha nemnu me'od. page 142. Let's sing Shalom Aleichem all together. You ready? Big, deep breaths. I don't know about you, but I feel like I got a lot to breathe out. I'm carrying a tremendous amount on my shoulders this week. So if you're anything like me, there's only one thing. You have to let that go. And singing loudly and breathing deeply and trying to relax and be present that's how we do it. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharei, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, malachei ashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malchei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni leshalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leshalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Turn the page and we stand for the Chatzi Kaddish on 144. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba v'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol bet Yisrael Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Kari Veimeru, Amen. Yesh Me'Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam Le'olmei Almaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach Ve'ishtabach, V'yitpar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, Shemei Dekudesha, B'rechu, Li'ela, min kol birchata v'shirata, tush v'chata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, V'yimeru, Amen. 146. I la 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 la. I la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. You can be seated. Page 148, let's read together the English in the middle of the page. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. 6 lines up in the Hebrew. Umavir. Umavir yom umevi laila. Umavdil ben yom uben laila. Adonai Tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam. Tamid yimloch aleinu. Leolam voed. Baruch ata Adonai. Hamari v'agavim. Together the English on 150. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam v'layla, ve'avatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Together, Baruch ata Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We stand for the Shema 152. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. You can be seated. We turn the page at the top of 154, together the Hebrew. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם. Amen. Let's turn to page 158. Let's sing Mi Chamocha together. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות. מי כמוך, מי כמוך, מי כמוך, מי כמוך. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות. כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות, נורא תהילות. מי כמוך, מי כמוך, מי כמוך, מי כמוך. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לבני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, כיבד אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Page 160. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו חיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, העמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו חיים ושלום מעתה ועד Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. 164, please stand as we prepare for the tefillah, which follows at the top of page 166. Ay la la ya la 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 ya Adonai. Ay la 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 sfatai tiftach. Ay la 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 ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ay la la ya la 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 ya Adonai. Ay la 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 sfatai tiftach, ay la 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 ufi yagid tehilatecha, ay la la ya la 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 ya Adonai, ay la 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 sfatai tiftach, ay la 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 ufi yagid tehilatecha. Together at the top of 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imaot, U'mevii Gula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol atah, Rav le'Hoshia, Mashiv HaRuach u'Morid HaGeshem, Mechalkel Chaim bechesed, Mechayei HaKol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, מתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל 170 אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. We continue quietly through page 180 and join together at the bottom of that page. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel ve'imeru Amen. Ose Shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel ve'imeru Amen. Yain dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 We turn ahead to 371. And with our spirits open from the tefillah, we offer our prayers for those who are in need of healing. So many are. Page 371. When there's a moment, if there's people who are close to you and you'd like their name included in our bracha, we'll pause and allow you to say their name and include them in this prayer for their healing. Mishberach avotenu bimotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rachel v'Leah Yivarech et kol hacholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all those who are ill, including
Douglas and Ruth Pomeranz.
Morris and Felice Friedman, Katie Adler, Lyndon Steve Ely, Jerry and Linda Jacobson, Luana Bachler, Sandy Lynn Force, Wilda Fink, Barry Rothschild, people in Ukraine, and the hostages in Israel.
Emil St. Germain, Louise St. Germain, Lee Ariola, Jim Thorne, Sue Park.
Susie Horowitz, Ken Burdett, Keith Hood, Edwin Speck, Andrew Wheeler.
Barbara Freed.
Heather and Jim Murray, Debbie and Moses Dreer, Debbie and Daryl Bernard, Mark and Joanne Schoen, Cynthia Wright, Alyssa Dipple, Bruce Adler, Sonia Freitas, Ann Hayes, Paul Hayes, Loretta Harrelson, Shelley Perkle, Deborah Dingle, J.J. Roque, Mike Zobino, Claire O'Neill, Barbara Freed, Tiffany Alexander, Corinne LaHaze, Wendy Fine, and Chris Wright.
And in the back we have Tanya Hurst, Diane Berger, Ann Moore, Holly Helbine, Bonnie Miller, Shelley Perkle, Heather Murray, Ann Moore, Barbara Whitlock, Jackie Freeman, Don Freeman, Terry Hurst, Daniel Brito.
Alan Kroll, Leif Ben Natan. Anybody else? Mishebeirach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishebeirach imotenu Mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We just had some late entries added. Patty Bierman, Cindy Fleming, Angie Purdom, Barbara Freed, Heather Murray, Barry Nicholsburg.
Thank you. Good Shabbos. In case you haven't noticed, there's a lot going on. And I thought seriously about how to talk about all of it, and I don't know. Okay. Haven't figured it all out. So I want to approach it in an unusual way. And I think sometimes the emotional map of what happens when things are so overwhelming and things seem stacked against you, and the whole freaking world seems upside down and crazy, and it's not one or two or three or four problems, it's like 10 or 20 problems, and then you got your own personal problems, and not only that, it's your neighbors and the people you know, and right, things get really, really complex and really negative. And usually when we're in those experiences, emotionally especially, the experience itself we can't really navigate and can't really control. And our primary connection is the emotional one. And yet emotions are very short-lived. The average lifespan of any given emotion that you have, like you're angry, you're happy, you're thrilled, you're sad, you're curious, it lasts, 20 seconds, right? Things don't last a very long time in our emotional life, unless they get clicked down again and ramped up again. And that repeated, short-run emotional roller coaster is just that. It's this up and down, up and down, up and down, and it becomes exhausting. And of course, all of those things happen within a very narrow window of time. Like just last week, I wasn't talking to you about this, I was talking to you about something else, and just in a really short period of time, we have these incredible shifts in our up and down experience. And so, in order to change that experience a little, in order to somehow shift the way we experience it, and maybe even to shift how we address the actual things that are going on, which seems like, how do you even start? Maybe the approach is to take a very, 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 very far away, distant look at what we're looking at. From a distance, and I mean a very far distance, all of this seems insignificant. From a distance, the whole world is one, and all the people in it are intimates, and there's no distinction between anybody, and nothing is happening. It's just spinning around. You can barely see any of it. That's a little too far removed for me. But I want to introduce you to, I don't think I've ever spoken to you about this idea before. It's actually it's not my own idea, but it's one that I've talked about many times, and I have a couple of really close friends and relatives who like to make fun of me for bringing it up over and over again, because it's kind of an unusual one, and I'm kind of hooked on the idea. So when you have a chance, you can go and look at this online and learn more about it. It's called the Long Now Project. Long Now. And they have a few different projects that they are working on, parallel, but they all share something in common, which is a conviction that our frame of reference historically is very, very small. We think in terms of centuries, right? We think a century is a really long time. It's not a really long time. It's actually a very short amount of time. But we think it's a long amount of time because, well, our clocks only run on, 12-hour cycles. So 100 years is a lot of cycles, right, over and over and over again. And even our calendar year, what is this, 2024? We think 2,000. Oh my God, 2,000 years. That's an incredible amount of time. But the Long Now Foundation started out with the following idea. They're like, what if we were trying to make a clock that was a 10,000-year clock? A clock that measured time not in 1 hour, 59 minutes, 59 seconds, not even 1 day, 23 hours, not even 1 week, not even 1 year, not even 1 century, but measured time in much, much larger increments. 1,000 years is one cycle through. Now, what interested me initially is this is actually a gigantic engineering task. Anybody here wear a watch regularly? Anybody? Yeah, a few people wear a watch regularly. How old is your watch? 45 years old? That's a pretty old watch. Still works, right? Think it's going to work in 450 years? Yeah, I don't know. Let's just say like it's open for interpretation. But the springs will not last, right? It's limited in its time. 45 years is pretty long, right? Most people would say, well, that's a vintage watch. It's an antique watch. It's an old watch. When you give it as an inheritance and another inheritance, someone will think, wow, this watch is it's 200 years old. In the 10,000-year framework, 200 years old is nothing. And it turns out it's pretty hard to make a clock that will measure time beyond the number of years which we are counting in years. Like, are we really sure that it's going to count 2025, 2026, 2027 for the next 9,000 years? We're not. There's no way. It's not. We didn't count this way 2,000 years ago. So we're unlikely to count this way 2,000 years in the future. So this clock has to be able to last somewhere on Earth that is going to be safe from all of the multitude of things that happen to places on Earth for 10,000 years and measure time in a way which is not even familiar to us. When you, they're working on like building it, like this is like a long-term project they have. They're trying to work on how you could do it, come up with a design. They have a sort of a prototype design. It's more a conceptual project than a physical one, but they are actually trying to do it. And what I like about this project is that no matter what is happening in my own limited experience, it allows me to see it both as small, almost insignificant. In 10,000 years, my less than a century life, small. Our troubles, wars and conflicts. If a war lasts 100 years, that's unbelievable. But in the 10,000-year clock, it's a very short experience. And this allows me to be hopeful in my short, limited experience. What this allows me to do is to say there is a future beyond this moment and beyond this crisis. And it's actually very close, even though at this moment, on my limited scale watch, it seems so far away that any of this is going to be resolved. When I shift and I think about the world beyond us and our limited scope, the movement of mountains and oceans, and the evolution of the human spirit, I can see that from a distance, these are small moments. And it allows me to maintain what is always within my grasp, which is hope that things will be better soon. Shenishma besorot tovot, may we hear good news, and soon. Shabbat shalom. All right, let's turn and conclude our service in the back of the Siddur, page 586. We stand for the Aleinu. 586. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לבני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרם בשמיים ממעל, שכינתו זו ושכינתו זו בגובי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום וישבת אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחתינו, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו We mark yard sites this month for Henya Zaidel, Morton Epstein, Mo Eagle, Daniel Joseph Middleton, Irving Levitt, Samuel Corin, Murray Weil, Morris Darnowski, Morris Davis, Howard Victor Epstein, Sigmund Finkelman, Helen Brudner, Isidore Bernstein, Doris Miller, and Gary Peck. Anyone here observing yard site tonight, this week? No, anybody? I'd like to share a short yard site reflection. This coming Sunday, I believe, is the yard site for my grandfather, Saul Singer. He died on the last day of Chol HaMoed, Passover. And just less than 6 months after my mother passed away, his daughter. And I guess it's fortunate that he really didn't know that his own daughter predeceased him by a few months. But if you poke around in Atlanta Jewish history, you'll come across his name. He and my grandmother, Ruth, were both born here in Georgia, in very small rural towns where there were very few Jews, and found each other, built a Jewish life together, went to university together, built a family, first in Columbus, Georgia, and then, when Atlanta expanded and grew and became Atlanta, like so many people, they moved from Columbus here to Atlanta, and that was really where I knew them. I was fortunate that I was able to move here when they were still living, and that my children knew them as their great-grandparents. They were truly remarkable people, really just amazing people, amazing family, and amazing lineage that they created. Still very, very close with my cousins, their direct ancestors, because of them. So may their memories and the memories of all whose yard sites we mark be a blessing to Nishmotam, Surot, B'tzura Chaim, mourners Kaddish, together on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah be'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala ubizman kari v'meru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam u'olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush v'chata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'meru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'meru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'meru amen. Good Shabbos, Chag Sameach, everybody. Thank you for coming out tonight, and thank you for joining us remotely, and thank you, Dennis, for the sound tonight. Thank you for singing so beautifully. Tomorrow morning, 9:30 is our foundations class. 11 o'clock is our morning services, followed by Kiddush and lunch. Please join us for those. My Thursday class starts back up again this week. And anything else?
Yeah, we have another announcement.
Okay.
We are now streaming our services on Friday night on the website as well. And if, in case you've missed any of the past 3 months, you can watch them on demand.
Excellent, thank you. Getting better all the time. That's it. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.